This video is all about answering one of life's biggest questions. Why do bad things happen to good people? I'm going to give you the best answer I think that humans are capable of right here in this video in the next few minutes. Hi, I am Brent Phillips. I am the founder and creator of the Awakening Dynamic System of Energy Healing and Higher Consciousness. This video is number 5 in our series on answers to life's biggest questions. And in just a second here, we're going to delve in and explain exactly how and why bad things happen to good people. Now, if this is the first video of this series you've seen, you might want to hit pause and go check video number 1, only because there's some overview and background. I'll answer things like, hey Brent, why in the world do you think you can answer this for me? Why should I believe you? I don't want to spend time on that here. I just want to get you to your good stuff. I want to give you the answer. So if you're wondering why I'm saying this and why I think I know the answers, check out video number 1. That has everything you need to know. So awesome, let's dive right into it. So why do bad things happen to good people? Couple steps here I want to take so we can give you a really thorough answer. The first part is noticing how flimsy the foundation the question rests on is. In other words, if we look at words like good and bad, what do they mean? What are good things? What are bad things? What are good people? What are bad people? Obviously, this is something relative. It is qualitative, not quantitative. We all have slightly different ideas of what good and bad are. If you said, hey Brent, you're going to go on a cruise where you spend all day playing Dungeons and Dragons and all night listening to live heavy metal shows, and you have unlimited root beer and donuts and you'll never get fat, I'd be like, oh my God, sign me up. Sounds like heaven. You send my wife on that cruise, she'd probably be seriously considering jumping off and killing herself to get away from it, because she hates those things, but I love them. So of course there's some level of relativity. So ultimately, you can't answer the question until you clearly define good and bad. However, I'm not going to cop out and stop there. I do understand what you mean with the question. Of course I do. There are certain things that are so bad that almost all of us would put it in the bad column, such as children dying a horrible, unnecessary death. I'm not sure anybody could really argue for why that's a good thing. There are other things that are almost entirely good. For example, someone risking their life to run into a burning building to save a stranger's baby. That's an almost purely good thing. And again, we could argue forever, but I'm just going to say, hey, for now, we'll just assume that we're kind of on the same page in terms of good and bad, because I do want to answer this question and not cop out. Given that some things are almost entirely good and other things are almost entirely bad, why do bad things happen to good people? Well, here's a big part of the answer. It all depends on how we think about fairness. What does that mean? And what are the units at which the fairness must be presented? There's our answer. Now, I know what I just said was a little abstract, a little obtuse, so I'm going to lead you through it step by step. What do I mean when I say this? The first question would be, at what level is the fairness supposed to show up? What does that mean? So there's many different levels of existence in our universe. Our human bodies encompass a dozen of them at least. On the smallest level, we have subatomic particles in the quantum world. Those form into the proton and the neutron and the electron, etc. Those form atoms. Atoms form molecules. Molecules create chemicals, and chemicals in biology create tissues. Tissues combine to create organs, and organ systems and tissues combine to create a human being. So there's all these different levels. Beyond us, we have our family, we have our city, our community, our county, our state, our nation, and the whole world. Beyond that, we got our planet, our solar system, our galaxy, our local group, and it goes on almost forever up and down. So here's the question to ask. If life were to actually be fair in this way, that bad things didn't happen to good people, at what level is that fairness enforced? As an example, most of us would say that the fairness should be enforced at the level of individual humans. Well, that may be great, and maybe you can do that, but what if it's not fair to your tissues? What if it's not fair to your cells? So this is why I'm asking the question. You might be able to impose fairness on the system, but it's going to be impossible to impose it universally at every level at the same time. As an example, we have different tissues in our bodies made of all these cells. Let's say that we look at a cell in your heart. Some of the characteristics of a heart cell are that many of them stay with you your entire life. So that cell may be with you from the day you're born till the day you die. They are very long-lived. They also have incredible endurance because your heart keeps beating 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, your whole life, until it stops and then you're dead. So the heart cells have incredible endurance and they have a long lifetime. But on the flip side, they have to work really hard. They get no breaks, and they have to work their entire lives in darkness. Because in case you hadn't thought about it, it's dark inside your body. There's no light gets in, right? Certainly not deep inside the tissue. So if we look at a skin cell, on the other hand, a skin cell has a short life. I believe most skin cells live 30 days or less, something like that. But on the flip side, the skin cell gets to go outside. It gets to see everything around it. It can experience fresh air and all these things that the heart never gets to do. So here's what it comes down to. You cannot build a successful human being by being fair to all the cells. It's impossible. Why? If the skin cells lived as long as the heart cells, our skin would be a nightmare for us. They have to die and flake off. It's how we stay healthy. It's how we stay clean. There's really no other choice. The heart cells don't get a break. That's the way the heart works. If you want to be a heart cell, you got to pump for the entire lifetime. And it's dark in there. There really is no way to make it fair. At least not in a way that the human being evolves. And that's what I want everyone to see. That we want fairness to be at the level of individual humans. But that on its own is an arbitrary choice. There's dozens, hundreds, thousands of other levels we could choose to be fair at, such as the cell, such as the molecule, such as the family, such as the nation or the planet. Why individual humans? That's just our ego. We humans think we're so important in the center of the universe. Our theologies literally put us in the middle of the universe up until science figured out better. So why should it be the humans that have the fairness? That doesn't make any sense. It's arbitrary. And even if we go further into that and we ask, okay, why is it that bad things happen to good people? Because we could certainly imagine in our mind a universe in which morality is a law of the universe. I can imagine a world in which people that work hard and are generous and take care of others are always rewarded with wealth and prosperity. I can imagine a world where people that lie and cheat and steal are caught and punished and stay poor. That's not the world we see, is it? No, we look around, we see a lot of honest, good, hardworking people that are generous and make sacrifices get screwed. They work for a company for 40 years, build up a pension, and then overnight, some company takes it over, loots the pension plan, fires everyone, and gives themselves a $400 billion bonus. I mean, this is what happens in our world. Totally unfair. People that lie and cheat and steal often end up ahead. It's not like a TV show or a movie where the good guys always win. No, in real life, the bad guys win a lot. Why is that? Well, it's really simple. Even if we can get past the different levels of fairness, even if we can get past the kinds of fairness, for example, if we were to get into the question of what does it mean to be fair to the level of individual humans? Does that mean an equality of opportunity or an equality of outcome? Totally different things. Equality of opportunity means everyone has the same chance to succeed. Equality of outcome means everyone ends up with the same thing no matter what. So equality of outcome is closer to a classical communist, Karl Marx Communist Manifesto kind of thing. And equality of opportunity is more along the traditional ideas of American democracy and capitalism. But that's its own question. Not even going to go there. We're going to transcend that to find the best answer we can. There is a reason why bad things happen to good people, and I'm going to give it to you. But first I want to say, if you're enjoying this video, click like, click subscribe. This is how you let YouTube know that this is cool stuff. So please click like, click subscribe. If you hit the little bell, you'll get automatic notifications when I release new videos. Right now it's once a week. Sometimes I do twice a week, so keep your eye on the channel. Awesome. So let's answer this for you. Why is it that bad things happen to good people? Beyond the relativity of good and bad. Beyond the relativity of what level are we fair and how are we fair. Here's the thing. It has to do with the agenda of the divine, the soul's true purpose. And I'm going to tell you right now what it is. And this may go over your head, you may not be able to hear it, that's okay. Even if this doesn't make perfect sense to you today, even if it makes you upset, you want to disagree, that's okay. No worries. Truth is truth. My mentor would often say the truth requires no defense. I would say, I'm going to show you the truth. Whether or not you like it, that's up to you. I can't control that. So here's the truth. Is the agenda of the divine, the purpose of life, the universe, and everything, is simple. It's to have all experiences. That's it. That's why we have a universe. That's why God made the universe. To have all experience. Now remember, if you've been on your spiritual path for a while, you've heard this a million times. There is no judgment of the divine. God does not judge us the way we judge each other. There simply is what is. There is no good and bad in the universal truth. There only is what is. And so the universe, the divine, chooses to have all experience. And quite simply, bad things happening to good people is part of all experience. And if we want to hold on to our human judgments, you're welcome to do that. But the more you hold on, I think the more they're going to cause you pain. Or we can surrender to a higher level of divine truth. So if this bothers you, or it doesn't make sense to you, I'd encourage you, check out my 30 Days to Awakening program. I think it's one of the greatest things I've ever created. And it is a simple step-by-step tutorial to bring you to complete 100% spiritual awakening, usually within 30 days. Now, I want to be honest. I will start your awakening within 30 days. It usually takes 6 months to a year to play out. It's like learning a language. It doesn't happen overnight. You can get started overnight, but it takes time to embody. Awakening is no different. But this is the only resource most people will ever need to radically accelerate your consciousness and to help you find your own answers to life's biggest questions. Because after all, I never would have discovered any of this had I not walked the path of awakening. So check it out if you're interested. If we want to understand why bad things are happening to good people, there's a couple steps. First, we have to clearly define exactly what is bad things and good things and what are good and bad people. Second, we need to be really clear on what level the fairness must be imposed. The cell, the tissue, the body, the planet, the galaxy, the human. We're going to assume human. And then we need to understand that the reason even the worst things happen to the best people is that the divine has no judgment. Its goal is to have all experience. And this will answer the question for pretty much all the things. Why do some children die right after they're born? Why is it that some people never find love? Why is it some people work their whole lives and never get ahead? Well, the answer is simple. All those things are part of all experience, aren't they? And at the end of the day, when you're fully awake, this is much easier. Because part of awakening is knowing with crystal clear certainty that we are all one. There is only one of us having all experiences. And from that perspective, the universe actually becomes perfectly fair on every level, in every way we could imagine. There is a divine perfection here, people. There really is. It took me a long time to see it. And you can only see it when you're at a certain stage of awakening. So if you want to go deeper, check out the link in the description, contact me for a private, join one of my events. I'd love to be your teacher if you're a good fit for this work. Hey, I'm not for everyone. I'm a little intense. I'm obsessed with the truth, and I have no tolerance for foolishness or stupidity. So I'm a little impatient in that way, but I will absolutely rocket you towards your own success, your own truth. That's all I got to say for today. This is Brent Phillips signing off at the end of video number 5. Coming up very soon, we got video number 6 in our series, where we're going to meet head on another one of life's biggest questions. Do we reincarnate after we die, or do we get sent to heaven or hell? More on that coming very soon. Until then, please take care and namaste.